Oh, okay. There, you're down in there. Before the water levels dropped, along this little patch of the river, there was a very rich diversity of bird life, and of course all the insects and the kinds of things they feed on, and many birds nesting in the reeds, and the water birds, swamp hens, coots, all those kinds of things. Since the water levels dropped over the last 2 years, as you can see, if you look out there, I can't see a bird from here at the moment, except for some opportunistic birds that are here taking advantage of things like dead mussels. All the mussels in the river have died and been washed up. Certainly the pelicans have very much declined. I used to see between 50 and 100 a day at the jetty here. I'd say perhaps 6 this morning.
We've got a slightly acidic reading. It's not dangerous. It's exactly what you would expect from this river. The danger is that it's been cut off, and so it can't do its own remediation, which is what it would be doing right now. What I've seen is this slow loss and shifting habitats, say the freshwater birds moving further and further up the tributaries looking for that fresh water. I remember vividly the day last year when I walked out onto my foreshore on the Finnis River and there was a line of dead mussels, freshwater mussels. They had just been overwhelmed by the salinity, not by the acidity, by the salinity.
The prediction of acidity in the lakes is a very scary one, and we have an example of a wetland that became acid in the mid-Murray near Mildura, and that one went to a pH of 2 and has stayed acidified and is unable to be, so far, to be rectified. We're very concerned because this isn't natural change. We're talking about very rapid rate of change and the loss of species, even extinctions. The system can't wait until we've got enough water to spare. It has to be included amongst the desperate users right now. And that's very difficult for some people to agree to because they think that people are more important than trees and fish and birds. But what they don't see is that if our river collapses, if the system collapses, it won't be able to support us.
If the risks of doing nothing and hoping that nature might recover could lead to a catastrophic environmental event such as acidification of very large areas of critical environmental importance, the decision is not that difficult to take. It's difficult to take from a public opinion perspective because there are many in the community who have very strong opinions about what should and what should not be done. However, as a government, I am faced with a decision between the risk of doing nothing is far greater than the risk of some intervention, and at the risk of doing nothing, the consequences are absolutely catastrophic, whereas the risk of doing something may create freshwater refuges that will lead to a better recovery in the longer term.